another Danhausen inspired project. And so I'll kind of look at this real quick and we'll go over what that is. So this weekend Danhausen was playing around and he was doing creepy crawlers, and he had like Spiderman creepy crawlers. And it was really interesting. He was kind of complaining the whole time about how you can't make the Spider-Man look like Spider-Man or the Venom look like Venom. And what I realized was like, oh, I can get these models or these molds and then make my own silicone mold from the mold. And then I can go through and potentially try to make, I'm trying to make like a, kind of like a quadrant of different use cases or different things that I've done before. So starting off with Spider-Man, I think Spider-Man would be great to do similar to this, where what I'm going to do is once I have the mold, I'll paint the inside of the mold. I'll brush on mica to where the color should be. And so then I'll make a very nice Spider-Man. Then I want to make a very evil Venom. So this is going to be more along the lines of using some of my opal, some of my metallic, some of my really shiny blacky blue purples to make Venom really pop as being like really evil. Mysterio, I was thinking, would be a great time to go ahead and use up some of the ball bearings I have left over. I've got all these ball bearings still left over, so I think I can probably get a couple different sizes, maybe just a couple large ones, and then also maybe try, like even this size, and this size, probably will look pretty good, maybe a couple big ones in there. But I want to do, I've got an idea to do Mysterio's head. I want to do his head filled up with the ball bearings. I may try another one where we just try Mysterio's head looking really silvery and nice. That might be another way to go with it. But I thought the ball bearings would be fun. You know, we call that more or less like heavy. The ball bearings I thought would be really interesting to try to do. And I have an idea. Because the mold, like if we imagine the mold will be something like this. And it's going to be an open face mold. It's not going to be a two-part. But like as an example, if we wanted to fill up this part of the sword with one thing and then the rest with something else, normally that's really hard to do to try to not get the material to go across. What I'm thinking though might be my secret weapon against this, and do I have any of it sitting around? I don't think I do, is going to be my blue stuff. My idea is going to be to take my blue stuff, which I've used in a couple other cases. That's a thermal compound that I can use that will become, it's like silicone. Resin won't stick to it, which is the really positive part of it. But what I'll do is I'll form his head, make a little, like a blue stuff dam, form his head perfect, take that off once it cures, and then be able to, like, again, use the mica to paint Mysterio's body and make Mysterio's body look really interesting. And then, I guess I'm probably misspelling all this to all heaven. I just wrote this real quick while I was thinking of it. Is the chameleon. So he did the chameleon, and the chameleon, he was, again, complaining like, you know, you can't make this look good and all this other stuff. And what I was thinking about with the chameleon is teeth glitter. I found online that they have, for, I guess, if you wanted to have something like a tooth fairy party or something, you can actually buy glitter that's little teeth. And if you don't know Danhausen, one of the things that Danhausen does is he has a jar full of teeth, human teeth, that he puts into his opponent's mouth, and then he kicks them, and then kicks the teeth out of their mouth. And that's all in the rules because humans have teeth in their mouth already, so it's completely legal. So yeah, I was thinking of making this quadrant of creepy crawlers, of a way to potentially judge creepy crawlers going forward. Creepy crawlers could be very nice, very evil, heavy, or teeth, I guess. But yeah, so I'll see. I'll think about. I've ordered up the stuff to make this, and that's going to be another project. I'm on the fence of if I want to send that to Danhausen again to see if he would be interested in them, like keeping them, like, you know, if they come out nice, if they would be fun. They could literally be like refrigerator magnets for him or something like that. I don't know if he'd be really that interested in it, potentially. I mean, he might get a kick out of it. But it may just be more something that I can do that's just fun for me, because I saw it and I was like, oh man, that's molding and I can have some practice making some molds, doing some molds, and my kids love Spider-Man. So if anything, I can make little Spider-Man for myself. So I thought it was like a win-win all around for me. But hopefully we'll be getting some of this stuff in, and then we'll kind of document that process of what we do. But I wanted to, bring up that kind of like the brainstorming part of that process. So quick update. This didn't go as well as I'd like. This first time using this stuff, it's just not strong enough. So I get like ripped off heads, extremities. I mean, the detail's all really nicely there. I don't know if I could like freeze it more, or if this is just how this is when it's fresh and it's not dirty just yet. Made a really beautiful mold for this though. This is kind of gorgeous. But yeah, so gonna try the next option, which was plaster. We've decided the nuclear option now. I'm gonna go straight to mold release and silicone. I'm gonna try doing about 60 grams and see how many I can do for 60 grams. So I'll come back in a moment after I've poured my 60 grams, but it's all mixed up. It's just sitting, degassing a little bit for bubbles. It's actually 65 grams. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. But I went ahead and made a quick mold release out of mineral spirits and what is jellies called? What is it? Jelly? Petroleum jelly. So hopefully that'll help out with the hands and little bits, because I'm just worried that it's this mold has a lot of little tiny pieces that it seemed to really grab. So that 65 was just enough, just barely enough. We'll see how they turn out. I didn't put any what is it called? Petroleum jelly, mineral spirits. I didn't put any of that on there. So we'll see how this guy turns out compared to everybody else. Again, they've got like man, Spider-Man's fingers right there are just like so close to the top. That's why I even overfilled a little bit. I'm hoping maybe that'll help me pull it out to demold it later. But yeah, we'll see how they go. Yeah, we'll just have to wait about 24 hours for that to cure real nice and strong. All right, we're back along in the project. We got our silicone all nice and set up. Now we're gonna go ahead and see if we can demold these guys and see if they actually come out well. Oh, look how nice that is. Oh yeah, old Spiderman came right out. So this guy I had mold release on. This is the one. No mold release on this guy. So let's see, is he gonna be more of a pain? He really shouldn't be. This silicone is so much stronger too than the other stuff I was using. I was trying to, that Jello stuff is just, it's a really interesting concept, but I don't know how useful it would be for something this small, like with the small pieces. And actually, I'm like, wow, look at, oh, we're gonna have pumpkin pie is gonna come in. So pumpkin pie now is gonna come to see what we're doing. But yeah, look at, wow. I am so glad I put in mold release. I didn't think I would need mold release for metal, but this guy is really locked in there. I mean, I can get him up. But I mean, he's also not full, but oh, there we go. Okay. All right. Yeah, but he's really stuck. He's really stuck in there. He has some bubbles too. All right. So here we go. Yeah, like, see, I put mold release even over here. So it's just, oh man, those are gonna be so great. So next step after this is gonna be, probably should do this some other way. I don't want to damage their surface area. Their surface. Oh, nice. So the next thing after this, I'm gonna put these guys in a little box. Man, Mysterio came out great. I'm gonna put them in a little box, and I'm gonna run a different silicone on top of them, and hopefully, again, I'll mold release, of course, because it's silicone on top of silicone, they will stick together. So I'll mold release them, and then I'll have my actual mold, which I can use for resin. And then again, real quick, we'll go over, just doing these really quick, dirty, they don't really matter for this. Oh, yeah, that's great. The real quick going over what we're going to do is we're going to try and do Venom to be very evil. I'm thinking of, I don't know if it'll work, but I'm wondering if I can like paint him in some way, because I want him to be really gloss. I want his gloss to look really good. It's interesting too, like looking at him, I'm like, did he lose detail, or is that just how he is detailed? I think that's just how he is detailed. They don't really have a side of the face. Like, I was looking here and I'm like, there's no side of his face. There's just no side of his face. That's just how it is. So Venom was going to be my very evil. Hopefully we can get some good blues and purples and all kinds of other fun colors. This guy, I think we're going to try and fill with teeth confetti that I'm waiting to come in. Teeth confetti hasn't come in just yet, but teeth confetti is on the way, so that's fun. Ball bearings. So got all these ball bearings to choose from that are left over, so we'll probably just only be able to put a couple small ones in there, really. And I'm going to try and see if I can have it so that that's like see-through with these little weird ball bearings in there. And then the rest of his body, I'll just try to get like color accurate. Same with Spiderman. Spiderman will just be, I'll just try to go color accurate on his costume. And we'll see how it goes. I may have to come in and actually do like a wash of a different color to get like this really fine detail. And then like kind of seal it all in a clear spray paint. But yeah, and then hopefully I'll be able to just drill and attach like a little magnets and turn them into refrigerator magnets. They should be a fun time though. Hopefully too, I can put these guys, I can probably cut them up a little bit more, but hopefully I can fit these guys into a pretty small area so that I can just have one big mold, is my plan. I don't know if I'll include this guy. He's got bubbles, which is odd, but yeah, I don't know that I'll include him. I also did get successfully my, I'm gonna show these again. These are my weird Jello molds that I did, and like as you can see, like I got pretty close, and then his feet ripped out. Spider-Man was worse off, but these guys came out fine, just because again they don't have that super fine detail. They didn't have any detail that was so fine, like maybe the edges are a little rough, but they didn't have any detail that was so fine that they got stuck. But yeah, we're moving along real nice on this weird Danhausen inspired project. And yeah, next thing will be a whole nother set of molds, because we're going to mold the molds. We're going to make a copy of these. And so that's going to be our next step, is to get a little mold box going and fill that up with molding materials. These guys, like I said last night, they took, I think it was 65 grams of silicone. I'm wondering if I just do these guys like this, if I can get my box. The box I was looking at looked okay. Just have to potentially glue them down with glue dots. But see, this box is already too big even. Something like that. I'll have to maybe see if I can actually get a smaller box. But something like that. So it might be about 100 grams of silicone. If I want to be safe, But that way I'll have the molds then that will let me do the opposite of these. But yeah, I'll update whenever we get to that point next. Alright, so I've mixed up this, which is Moldstar 15 Slow. It's a platinum silicone. So that's what I've got. Before, what I used was Mold Max 30, which is 10 based. So hopefully, normally they won't bond to each other, but I'm still going to use some mold release as well. It took a little bit more, so I had to make some more, but now it's all coated. You see just a little pink through there, but I think that should be okay. So now I gotta wait another like slow cure couple hours. Alright guys, so it's like the next day. I think this only has about like 6 hours of cure time, 4 hours of cure time, so it should be completely cured, should be ready to go. And of course, don't have any razor or anything to cut it open with. But it's never too far away. So, yeah, let's go ahead and see what it's like. I used some of my Munster clay here just to kind of create a little dam so that I could have a smaller area in general. There we go, Munster clay. Really like the Munster clay so far. It's really been very useful. Just gotta get some of this out from the plastic and or tape and stuff that I put here. Alright, so let's see how we did. Already, it looks like we have at least some pieces of it look really good. Just feeling if it's sticky. I think I did have this problem before where this tape can almost make a little bit of inhibiting, but let's see. Because this is a little sticky right there. Little odd too that I got, so these are pretty clearly defined. These are less clearly defined. We'll see how they go though. Should be okay. We should be able to like cut them out. I'm a little worried about this right here. I didn't know that he was that close. And this is still a little sticky, which isn't great. So I may leave this before I demold this the rest of the way. Hopefully it's only this surface area that's sticky, because otherwise this project will be a craftastrophe. Yeah, so I'll have to kind of see, because I don't like seeing this. That's not great. I think that might be the tape reacting a little bit with the silicone, so I kind of hope maybe with, now that I've removed the tape, if maybe I give it a little bit of time, maybe it'll gas out and be okay. I think it should be okay, even if it is like a little problematic there, because it's really the surface inside of here that's against this silicone. That's what really matters. And I think even this will be okay. We should be able to still, yeah, remove this. This is even a little sticky. Kind of hard to show that necessarily, but that's a little odd. That's sticky too. So we'll see how this mold comes out overall. Man, and actually that's really bad. That's bad right there. They shifted a little. I didn't have a good way to put this, like stick it down, and so maybe this one floated a little and then actually floated and touched. So that may be a craftastrophe there already. We'll have to see how that works. Did this somehow go underneath here? Yeah, let's just go ahead and look, because we're already into this a little bit, and we'll see how this ended up going. Alright, so here's Venom. I think that's Venom. That's really weird that maybe that's just my mold release that I'm feeling. I hope that's just my mold release I'm feeling, because that would also be a little sticky as well. Like it'll be petroleum jelly, so have a little stickiness to it. You may get some thunder sounds in the background. There's a storm kind of coming through right now. It's really weird. I wish there was a better way, or like a... Didn't want to do these guys in silicone, but at the same time I felt like that was the only way to ensure that I would get a good mold out of that metal mold. These aren't really the right scissors for this, but they do work okay. And I like that they give you a nice line. Okay, so he looks okay. No major issue. Fortunate that he floated a little. Can clean that up later. Let's see about... So this is, like I said, this is okay. There's a wall between these guys, it looks like. His hand free. They didn't touch, which is good. This also, I don't know how I feel about this mold material. In some ways, this blue silicone, it you have to like mix like equal parts of two materials that are very similar, and like, man, I thought I would get away with like 100. I think I ended up doing maybe like 175 grams to do this block. As you can see, I even have like, I actually thought that was kind of funny to make it look like they're almost like the Sistine Chapel, like touching each other. But yeah. And I was worried whenever I was doing this that I didn't have a good way to make this stick, to make sure that they didn't float. And so, unfortunately, they did float a little. But fortunately, it looks like my mold release stopped them from sticking. So again, another good idea there for the mold release. Also, these silicones are different types of silicone. One was a tin, and one was a platinum. So they shouldn't really like to stick to one another or bind to one another anyway, which is another reason why I use different products. And also this pink is much sturdier. It's more it's just generally like it's harder. So I figured it would be easier to have to pull out of those metal molds that I had. So yeah, it's not too bad overall. And we'll have to, still waiting for one supply before I go too far ahead. But I should be able to potentially get these cleaned up a little bit and then potentially work on some of them. The one supply I'm waiting for is teeth glitter. So teeth glitter is going to go in probably chameleon, I think. So we'll see how that goes. But other than that, I need to clean these guys out because they do have, I hope that's just mold release. May give them some time, but they're a little sticky. But yeah, I'll kind of give them some time to both air out, and I'll have to kind of clean them out with alcohol or something else, just to make sure they're ready to go. And yeah, I'll start playing around with either running some resin in them. But looks pretty good overall. Oh no, you guys like somehow fell. You slowly fell the whole time I was filming. But we'll see. As a backup, because I don't like the results I'm seeing so far, I'm going to do Mold Max 30 now. So just poured it on top. Did all my normal stuff. I don't have a pressure pot, so it'll just have to bubble and stuff. I think I got bubbles on my other mold, that green one. And it's still a little tacky. I think I've had other issues before where maybe shouldn't mix the two types. I don't know if they inhibit one another from curing. So now the only problem is, in this case, hopefully our little pucks, our models that are silicone, don't stick to this silicone. It should be like making a two-part mold though. They shouldn't stick. They have mold release. Hopefully that works out, and we'll get our teeth in the mail. But we'll see how that goes.